Okay, so this is Brian, and I'm Mike, and we're going to be teaching saxophone today. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk to you about, Brian, is instrument assembly. So, right, this is our mouthpiece, okay? You have the mouthpiece, right? And then this little brass or gold part that you have is called the ligature. And then you also have your reed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the mouthpiece connects to the stem part right here. And you see, do you have the stem part with you? Yeah, there it is. So if you could first, before we even get to the mouthpiece, first let's attach the stem part to right there. So what you want to do is you want to unscrew this little knob right here, make it loose. So once you get that loose, then you're able to slide it in there. But as you put it in there, you want to do a twisting motion to help it just get in there more smoothly. Yep. Yeah. Here, let's see. Yeah, try not to shove. Try more twisting. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And then once it's in there, you want to align that ridge that you see in there. This ridge right here.
Mm-hmm.
Align it with the key right there. See that top of the key right here, the plastic? Yep, perfect. Just like that. Alright, and then tighten the screw back up when it's nice and aligned. And then the next part is the mouthpiece. So you see the cork ending right here? So this is where we screw the mouthpiece on. So, but before what I like to do is before I screw the mouthpiece on, I like to put my reed on. So in order to do that, so take your reed out, and you want to soak your reed with your mouth a little bit to get it nice and wet before we start playing. So just get it wet with your tongue a little bit. And then what we're going to do is the flat side of the reed, if you see the side of the mouthpiece that has the hole on it, the flat side of the reed goes just like this on top of that hole. And then you want the tip of the reed to only leave like a tiny bit of black of the mouthpiece at the tip. So yeah, perfect. Maybe even a tiny bit less. Perfect. Yeah, good. And so then once you have that on, you hold it there, and always try and grip it with the bottom of the reed, not the top. You don't want to destroy it as we try to put it on. And so when you put the ligature back on, you want the knobs facing to your right. As you can see, they're facing to the right. Good. And then just tighten them. Don't make them too tight, but just so the reed doesn't move out of place or anything like that. And then once that's tight, we screw it back on. So another screwing motion. And so there's only a little bit of the cork showing at the end. Like that. Looks good. And then if it just look at it to make sure it's just even, and not crooked a little bit, so it's nice and straight. Good. All right. And so the final thing is the neck strap. So the neck strap, you see this, it hooks in right here, as you can see, that little hole right there. Yeah, so it just hooks in like that, and then over your head. Just like that. Awesome. Okay, so that is how the instrument is put together. Alright, and now posture is also very important when it comes to playing the sax. And so to have good posture, we want to be in the edges of our chairs, and then feet flat, and your knees kind of like in line with your shoulders, and then you want to sit up straight, back straight, and your head just kind of up straight too. And that is good posture. And you look good. Nice. Alright. And so next I want to talk about is instrument carriage. So the neck strap needs to be adjusted or positioned so the sax comes to your mouth and not the other way around. You don't want your head to come towards the sax. You want the sax mouthpiece to come to you. So if the neck strap is adjusted so it is doing that, then you are good. It looks to me that try making your neck strap a little tighter. So you would, yeah, you just adjust it like that. Yeah, try that. Yeah, and you, good, yeah. All right, that looks better. Nice. Okay. And then, so now that we can move on to hand positioning. So for your left hand is your left hand thumb is going to be placed right here on the back thumb pad of the instrument, and it can slightly be hovering or touching the octave key, which is this key right here in the back. Yeah, it can slightly be touching that. That's okay. So for your right hand, you see this black notch at the very bottom. Your right thumb is going to just rest right up in there.
Okay.
And you want most of the weight of the sax to be towards your neck, and so if a lot of weight is on your thumb, then your neck strap might need to be adjusted. But if it feels good, then good, cool. All right, and so for the hand shape, you want your hands to be like you're holding like a soda can. Could you try that? Just like act like you're holding a soda can. Yeah, perfect, just like that. And or kind of like, it's also kind of like a C shape too, you know? So that works. So your left hand, your thumb's gonna rest right there, and then can you take your first, second, and third finger and just rest them on the first, second, and third keys. So it's gonna be this key, that key, and this key. Good. Awesome. And then your right hand is gonna be resting down here with your thumb in that notch. It's gonna, your first finger there, second finger there, third finger there. Just like that. Good. And it's the same concept with your right hand. It's more of a holding a soda can, or it's like a C shape.
Okay.
And so that's how your right hand rests. And that's how you kind of hold the instrument. If you can bring it out here, and yeah, so does that feel okay? It feels comfortable? Cool. All right, and so next thing is embouchure. So embouchure can be kind of tricky for the sax, but what some main points are, so your top teeth, you want to rest on top of the mouthpiece. So your front couple teeth just rest like that. If you can, let me see if you can. Yeah, just like that. And then with your bottom lip, you curl your bottom lip in, like over your bottom teeth, and then that just kind of rests. Your reed rests on top of that. And so with your top teeth touching the top of the mouthpiece, and your bottom lip curled in. And so, can you try that for me? Can you see that? Good, that looks good. And so, what next thing you need to think about is the corners of your mouth. So you kind of want to think about it as all the corners of your mouth are pointing in. So it's going to be very tight. You don't want any airflow really to come through, like the corners of your mouth, I mean. So you can think of tight corners, and you can try even saying like or like you know, kind of keep your mouth in that kind of position.
Okay.
Good, so that looks good. Now, I want you to try playing a note for me now. Can you try playing with just no keys? So you're just going to blow into it without pressing any keys. Okay, good. Very good. So it was a little muffled sound. Brian had a little bit of a muffled sound. So that also relates to breath support. So to get a really nice tone, we need to breathe a lot. You know, there's a lot of air that needs to come through, and so that means we need to open up our mouth and make it bigger and open up our airflow a lot. And a good way for that is to say "ah," like you're saying "ah," but like "ah."
Ah.
Right. So you kind of see that feeling how like opens up your mouth. So you kind of want to think about that. So when you blow, you want to blow as much air as you can with that open, but keeping your tight corners of your embouchure still while blowing so much air. So let me demonstrate first. Let me see if I can do it. All right, now you try. Good, that was a lot better than last time. Just try it one more time without trying to play any of the keys.
Right.
Very good, very good. That was a lot better. Let's try playing. Can you play with your left hand? Sorry, your left hand. just play the very first key with your first. Yep, that's the only key you need to play. So let me first. Good. So one thing I noticed is when you're trying with your embouchure, you don't need to put your whole mouth on the whole reed. You only have to cover like half of the reed, not even half of the reed, just
Okay.
more towards the top of the reed, and then try not to squeeze the reed, the fulcrum point, which is where the reed separates from the mouthpiece.
Okay.
Kind of see where that happens on the reed. If you press too hard on that, excuse me, then it can also muffle the sound and you won't get a good tone. So one thing to remember is just you don't want to squeeze too hard up and down with your embouchure. You kind of want everything to come in, like arrows pointing in, and still keep that your open airflow. So just don't squeeze too much with your bottom lip.
Okay.
And make sure you keep those teeth on top of the mouthpiece. So let's try the same note again. So first finger. Yeah, good. All right, so it started off a little muffled, but then it opened up, which is really good. So that was nice. That was nice progress. All right, another thing that we need to talk about is articulating, tonguing. So this can be one of the most trickiest things for people, beginners to learn. But so the main thing is you want the tip of your tongue to touch the tip of the reed. And like another good thing to say is ta 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 or t t ta ta. Can you try a couple of those? Just ta ta ta.
Ta 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 ta.
Yeah, exactly.
T t.
Good. So you want to think of that t t sound, and when you blow a note, you just want your tongue to touch the tip of the reed and mouthpiece, but you don't keep your tongue there. Obviously, you just touch it and pull it back. So let me try demonstrating first. All right. So you just kind of see how I heard that t t sound. All right. Now you try it. Without playing, just open.
No notes.
Yeah, no notes. Good. All right. So you got it after a while, which is good. That's awesome. Now let's try playing it with some notes. So what I want you to do is you're gonna play just 3, 2, 1, and then you're gonna repeat it once. So just play it 2 times. So I'll demonstrate first. Oh, sorry. Oh, I was hitting a note with my hand. I'm sorry. Alright, so even though I was hitting the upper octave, the upper register of those notes, I was still getting the tonguing. So let's see what happens with you. So just trying 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1.
Yep. Alright, so that's pretty good. Sometimes it was hard to hear the pitches, but that's good progress. So let's just go back to open, and I'll play a rhythm, and then I want you to repeat it back to me. Okay. And still doing the tonguing. Good. Let's do one more. Good. So I can hear that your t sound is coming out really nicely, which is really good. And now I'm pretty sure that's basically everything about the basics related to saxophone. Let's quickly go over everything that we talked about. Kind of like a quiz. So if we're taking our neck strap off, or taking our saxophone off, what is the first thing that I need to do if I'm putting the instrument together?
Put the cork into the main instrument.
Right. So yeah, then The neck piece
neck
comes
piece.
comes into the rest of the instrument. And then what should I do after that?
Prepare your mouthpiece.
Right, and so if the ligature, which is the gold part ligature, what way should my screws be facing?
To the right.
Good. If I'm just carrying the instrument around and I'm not actually playing it, where should I be holding it?
Hold it by the bell.
Good. The bell of the instrument. And then let's see. For our hand position, do you remember what our left hand and right hand should be? Our hand position should look like.
Our left hand should be on the black upper knob on the instrument, with it slightly touching the octave key.
Right.
And your hands on 3, 2, 1 right here.
Good.
Then your right hand should be under this lip at the bottom, the black lip at the bottom of the instrument, and 3, 2, 1 right there.
Good. Awesome. And then with the neck strap connects where?
Middle instrument in the ring over here and goes around your neck, and it should be adjusted as such where when you're holding and sitting up with the instrument properly, the saxophone comes to you, you don't do the opposite.
Right, exactly. Very nice. And then for embouchure, what are some main things you just want to remember about your embouchure?
Cover your bottom teeth with your lip, 2 teeth on top of the mouthpiece.
Yep.
And you don't want to be choking the dividing point between the reed and the mouthpiece. And when tonguing, make sure it's like a T or ta sound. Good. And make sure the tongue doesn't stay on the reed. It moves off after each beat.
Awesome. All right. Well, Brian really knows his stuff about sax, so hopefully you can be more knowledgeable when it comes up later.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.